We've bean boozled you all because it's noon and I pushed the button. What? A nooner?
It's a nooner.
It's a nooner. So in honor of this nooner, we're going to play Afternoon Delight for 24 hours straight, including the Anchorman version. Not really.
Welcome to For Music Lovers Only, a podcast where each host makes a top 5 list of their favorite songs from this week's topic. Each week is a new topic. Tune in, I dare you. Music Lovers Only.
Hola! Oh, hey, that's still up. Oh, we were fucking being idiots and then nobody's seen it.
Hey,
Slacking.
we did it.
Hey, what is everybody doing today? For Music Lovers Only, we're going to talk about top 5 favorite albums. What's going on, Sontia? What's going on, Coach?
Oh, not too much. Just sitting here on a Saturday afternoon having some music delight.
Got some afternoon delight. That's one of my favorite scenes from The Anchorman.
Oh, yeah. The Anchorman is my favorite scene from The Anchorman. But yes, that's a great part of no.
Do you mean like the gang fight?
Oh, man.
No, where they're in the office and they just start singing Afternoon Delight.
Yeah. Like, oh, Veronica.
Oh, yes.
Saturday it up, man. It's a beautiful out so far. It's going to get hot as crap. Got a wedding later. I'm forcing us to do this one early, and we talked about it. Like I sent a text, but all of August is going to be a little crazy. So they might get to see us at all kinds of different times, or recorded times, or who knows.
Yeah, that's kind of the fun thing. We ain't got no rules about it. We'll just come on whenever we want. Y'all catch us later. If you don't catch us now, we ain't mad.
Yeah.
We might hire 3 little people that look just like us to do the show and do an episode. Yeah, do mini-me's of all 3 of us. And you might just put on one and it's an episode of mini-me's freaking, for music lovers only. So little Sontia, mini coach.
You can forward us money now to make it happen.
JRB 2.5.
Yeah, 2.5.
Oh,
that's Joe's moniker. She took it, but that's okay. But yeah, we are gonna talk top favorite albums. We've been talking about it from probably episode 1, but we've just always kind of backburnered it because it's a lot.
We probably should have did this in like a 3-part series. Now that I think of it, maybe even 4-part. Because I think that you could have done, 4 episodes of this, no problem.
Yeah. Well, I busted the Rolling Stones 500 greatest albums out. Remember the book we talked about it? We drew some numbers or picked some numbers or something like that and went to that and their top 5. Should we do it first or should we do it afterwards?
I don't think it'll be our top 5. So and nobody will know. So I don't care.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Even if it is, you don't have to cancel it off of your list, even if it's on theirs, because again, they pretty much stay in the same timeline. There's nothing too current, but Sgt. Pepper's is number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Pet Sounds, Beach Boys is number 2. Revolver's number 3. Highway 61 Revisited, Bob Dylan, number 4. And 5 is Rubber Soul. So the Beatles made 3, in which that
doesn't seem fair.
I think if it's like top selling or whatever, maybe that makes something, or I don't know how. I don't know what that list is, how it's compiled.
Yeah,
I was torn between 2 Beatles songs that may or may not have made my list. We'll just put it like that. But the Beatles.
This list is gonna hurt for me because of that.
It's gonna sting. But the Beatles, they in 2012, I didn't do too much music news because I'm kind of a little burnt out at it. I was off the socials a little bit last week. I was slacking, and it just seemed like they went stale, and I wasn't having as much fun with them. So I needed a break, so I took a break.
Take a break.
The Beatles, they returned to the top 40 charts in 2012. for Tomorrow Never Knows.
What?
So that's pretty cool. After what, I can't math right now. 40 years after being their last album.
2012, Tomorrow Never Know. I've never heard that song. I don't think I might have and just didn't.
It's an exclusive compilation. Tomorrow Never. It's probably just like I said. It's a compilation album. So.
Oh, it's a whole album. For some reason, I thought it was.
They
I remember when the album came out. Yeah.
They re-released the red one, like with one, and it had all their hits on there.
I stole that from a roommate.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I got it for Christmas after I had all the albums. So like, thanks.
Still have it if you want it back.
Hit her up. Like the page, like, subscribe, follow, do that too. Hey, you get your album back. All right. So I don't know. Let's I got a little last summer adventure to do. I took advantage of this nooner, so I'm gonna hit the road after this. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get into our list because I feel it may, let's give ourselves ample time.
Sweet.
We ready to do this?
We're ready to do this. I went first last time.
Well, guess what? The rules are there's no rules, and you're going first this time again.
The gods of the spinner shine upon you.
I'm first every time, except that one time Josh was first.
You save the best for first every time.
Exactly.
Stop it. Stop. All right. 5 albums, 5 favorite albums of all time of my whole life. Somehow or another, I had to figure that out. So what the biggest factor in this was for me was what albums do I enjoy all the way through?
Yeah. Like
if there's not a song that I skipped, I wrote those down and then I cut those in half and then I finally got my list. So these are, and they also helped me through life or whatever else, or they were pinnacle in my development or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I went by year. So we're going to start with the first album, which is going to be MC Hammer.
Yeah.
Hammer. Please, Hammer. Don't hurt them. From 1990. And I wasn't allowed to listen to explicit music, really. So really, I had Michael Jackson, Elvis, James Brown, and Motown and the blues. That was it. That's what I grew up on because I wasn't really allowed to listen to anything else except for the radio, which was just the same artist over and over and over again, over and over and over again. MC Hammer was a surprise because MC Hammer was famous, but I didn't care at that period of time. And I was in a program for disadvantaged youth, and I was pissed off because I didn't think I was disadvantaged, and I didn't want to be in that program, but I was in it. And there were firefighters that would adopt you or whatever else for this Christmas show. And the firefighter that adopted me gave me this MC Hammer tape.
Yeah.
And so I listened to it and it was amazing. I was like, oh my God, this is the greatest music that's ever been made in the whole world. And it was so positive, and it was all about ending crime and self-reliance and God and all sorts of different things. MC Hammer put everything that he had into that first album, and I completely see why he blew up.
Yeah.
And just the 3 songs that were on there that really got my goat in a good way were Dancing Machine, Pray, and then Let's Go Deeper.
Yeah.
And those were my 3. So that's my first.
Yeah, I had that album definitely. I remember the dance one. What'd you say? I just
Dancing Machine. Yeah. Dancing. I'm a dance machine. And he sampled so many good songs. So it was one of those ways to where, and growing up listening to Motown,
you heard
as one of the only things that I could listen to, I was just like, hey, I've heard all this. He sounds just like what I've been listening to, except for with rap.
Yeah.
With the rap and the hip hop. Did you guys,
Dude.
either of you guys have the parachute pants?
I wanted them. I had like not as cool of ones. I had like the
Adidas ones.
yeah, those type ones. They were them, but they weren't as, like the badass, like freaking glammed out ones and stuff.
Yeah, I wanted a pair
wanted
too,
them.
and I couldn't. I wasn't allowed.
No.
My
About
brother
that.
had the complete Michael Jackson outfit. I still remember that, and it always made me jealous, And I was never really a Michael Jackson guy. I think we've talked about it. I loved some of his music, but my brother had the whole thing with the red jacket, and I'm like, dude, he looks good. He looks good,
You're fresh.
Yeah.
Out of
The
sight,
shoes,
man.
the freaking shoes with the rhinestones or whatever all over on the. Oh man, that dude, he had it all.
Oh man, not the rhinestones. Walking down the street, glittering, looking like he's walking.
Shining like a disco ball.
Stopping
Lightning cars as they drive by.
Saving the children. Annie, are you okay?
Are you okay?
Are you okay?
Alien Antfar's been kind of making a resurgent. I was like, that's cool.
Yeah, my son brought them up. He's like, "Did you know?" I'm like, "Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did."
Yeah, we all knew. I don't know how I felt about it. I didn't like it. I really didn't.
Sorry if Alien Antfar made your list.
I don't think it made anybody here's list. I don't diss. Like I was torn on it. I jammed it, but then it was way overplayed, and but it was huge. They made them a lot of money.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was. I really think it was a terrible cover, but it was so incredibly popular.
It was crazy. It was just the way they did it. I think it was the way they played it. I don't even know if it was the way they sang it. It was the way they played it that I think actually made it, to me, the reason I liked it.
Yeah. I like the da 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 da. Ow! That was creative. I like that.
How did we get on this topip? I think
Sorry.
it was my fault.
It's me, Coach.
It's MC Hammer. He's a dancing machine.
Dancing machine.
The dancing machine. Number 2 is going to be Pearl Jam. This is my favorite Pearl Jam album, and I don't know that it's anybody else's, but it's Vitalogy. And I think I'm saying that right. I've never said it out loud. But.
That's the way I've always said it, but it was until like Yield. But I mean, after that, they had like 3 or 4 really good albums, which I didn't give no appreciation to them until years and years later. But the one about bugs, I got bugs in my hair.
I got bugs in my ear. Like it's so random, and that's what I really like about the album. Is it's like a psychological meltdown on tape. Essentially is what it is, and it almost is like a ritual. Like you're going through like a bad trip, and then you hit like some good points, and then all of a sudden you're dealing with bugs, and then all of a sudden you're thinking about, man, the world really should be a better place.
Yeah. Well,
and then you're done because that's enough.
I can't remember which one there's what Better Man and Nothing Man, I think, on there.
Yeah, there's Better Man, there's Nothing Man. The 3 that I wrote down as my favorite 3 on this one was Not For You. So this is not for you.
Yeah.
Polaroid and Better Man.
Yeah, Corduroy is my favorite off of there. I forgot about that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then they have the song Immortality, which I have a song called Boatman.
Yeah.
Which is essentially about death or whatever else, and immortality is what inspired that song actually. So that was a good album. I really enjoyed it, and I listened to it when I was happy or sad because it was just both.
the Ides River, what is it?
The
river Styx, isn't it?
Yeah, going down the river Styx. You have to pay the boatman. I think those are 2 different actually situations. Because one you have to pay him, one you just are there. So you got the Egyptians and then not the Romans. Who has the other boatman? Norris? No. Anyways.
Yeah, I think that's where like put coins on their eyes so they can pay the to get into the wherever.
Yeah. So somebody has to get paid. So
I'm sure the internet will correct us if we're wrong.
Yeah. Just make sure that you have some ducats.
Don't die poor.
Not fact check us. What we say is the truth.
Yeah.
We are the truth.
If you're gonna comment and call us idiots, at least like and subscribe.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
we'll take comments either way, but we'd appreciate it.
Like and subscribe and send us money. Definitely.
And then tell us we're idiots. We don't care.
Yeah. After you send us money, you can say whatever you want. Oh my God, this is crazy. Number 3. I'm gonna
really
get through this. We're doing all right. Amos Lee, on his first album, Amos Lee, because he has like 4 or 5 albums, but his first album, Amos Lee, was one of my favorite albums. It was pinnacle because when I was in my 20s or whatever else, I was just still kind of discovering myself, discovering my life. And I found Amos Lee, and that's like the first road trip that I took out of town to see a concert. I went to Kansas City to go see him, and it was a small room of people that were all just gathered around stage. Like you could just walk up and bother him if you really wanted to. And now he's just on world tours, just huge and incredible. But Amos Lee simplicity is what really impresses me about him. And the first thing that I ever heard about Amos Lee was he was touring with Willie Nelson, and it was just him and his guitar. That was it. He didn't have a band, which is what I do. And I was like, hey, that's what I do too. I do that. I have a guitar and I just get up there with anybody. I don't care. And Amos Lee is like, hey, actually, he doesn't know who I am.
Hit us up.
He will.
Let's change that. What was the album?
The album is just his name, Amos Lee.
Amos Lee. I don't think I mean, maybe if I heard it.
Yeah, he doesn't really have a whole lot of songs that are famous. He has some songs in commercials. He has one that goes, Sweet Pea, Apple of My Eye. That's not on that album though, but that's like the one song that I've seen that's gone commercial because he's not a commercial type of guy. He used to be a school teacher, and he decided that he was just going to go be a musician. He's like, fuck them kids.
Well,
but the 3 songs that I like on there are Soul Sucker, Seen It All Before, and Arms of a Woman. And Soul Sucker is about going into the music industry and not letting them take your soul out, like not letting them. One of the things that he says is, do you believe them when they told you they discovered you? And I was like, bitch, right? Like you didn't discover anybody. I've been here.
Christopher Columbus, what the hell?
Yeah, don't Columbus me. All right. Number 4, AJR. And I had to choose between OK Orchestra and Maybe Man. And Maybe Man is their newest album, which I almost didn't listen to because I loved OK Orchestra so much. And I was like, I'm not even going to listen to it because nothing can beat OK Orchestra. And that's what I figured. That was it. So OK Orchestra is what made the list. Just because it was pinnacle in my introduction to AJR. AJR makes just positive music for depressed people.
I remember
I don't listen to them enough, but I love I know
they had made your list, and I remember listening to the song, but I don't remember anything else. I hadn't listened to any more of them.
Oh, okay.
So I'll get to. We're gonna do 3 songs on the playlist this week, and so we'll get a good taste of them.
Okay, yeah. Off of that particular album, let me see. What did I put? Oh, I need to turn the page.
We all need to turn the page, Sontia.
3 O'Clock Things, My Play, which is a song about a kid dealing with his parents going through a divorce, and Way Less Sad are my 3 favorites off of there. So that was it. All right. And then number 5.
That was loud.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even know where the speaker is on here.
Pretty close to that.
Okay. That's probably where the microphone is then. My bad.
The soft drum roll.
My bad.
It was-
My bad.
ladylike.
She's aggressive. It's okay.
Early, we've got
Some
energy.
guys like
We're not-
that. Some guys like that, Josh.
But we've got, I think, we've all got a little more energy. It's noon.
Yeah, we're all awake and
Yeah.
haven't had a full day. So last one, number 5. So as we all know, I was all being a pervert at Lenny Kravitz. But he was the one that made a video where he was naked. So that, that
You don't have
wasn't
to bring it up every show, though.
Huh?
You don't have to bring it up every show, though.
I do. I really do.
Kravitz, hit us up.
I have to, because it's such a good video. Like it's he's naked but he's free. Like it's not fully sexual, but he's just he woke up and he's just running around his house, just enjoying his day. He's just enjoying his day, and I love that. I do that sometimes. It's just like, woo, it's my day, and then just go on with my life. People
Doing the
need
helicopter.
naked time. Yeah, well, I can't.
I was saying wrap it up. I
thought that was the
I
code
was-
for helicopter. He was
No, the
helicopter.
helicopter flings this one. This one. Unless he's laying on his back throwing one, I guess, maybe. But I was.
Oh.
I'd like to see that. Anyways,
Lenny Kravitz, hit us up.
Lenny Kravitz. Lenny Kravitz.
Don't hit me with that, though, okay? Hit, her, maybe, I guess, whatever, but don't hit, I don't know, whatever, You're a beautiful man. I don't know.
Oh my God. Lenny Kravitz.
What album?
Blue Electric Light, which is the newest album. So after I went through his whole discography, because it came up on YouTube, because I was watching him a lot. I really did. I
Lenny
listened
Kravitz
to
nude, Lenny Kravitz nude, Lenny Kravitz nude, Lenny Kravitz nude, Lenny Kravitz
naked.
Behind the scenes.
We're canceled. But yeah, Blue Electric Light, out of all his albums, is like from what I heard, is he concentrates on love. He concentrates on growing yourself as an individual, just opening up your mind for new experiences, and he really is. He definitely wants to just elevate everybody to a different mindset, to where you're not just kind of stuck on your ego and yourself. But Blue Electric Light seems like he's having more fun. Like he's actually having more fun with his music. He's not doing what he's expected to do. It just seems like a freer album. And there are some songs on there that are just kind of like primal. It's just talking about just different primal urges, and then we go back to our spirituality, then it goes back to growing ourselves, and then it goes back to one of the songs is Love Is My Religion. Which is just like, hey, there's something bigger than what everybody just tends to concentrate on. So I love that about this album, and I really think that it's one of his greatest works. I really do. And then the 3 songs that I took off of there were Another Fine Day in the Universe of Love, which is about appreciating things in your life and just overall in the universe while going through something difficult. Like it sounded like he was talking like about a breakup, but you still appreciate what your day has to offer you. And then Human, and then Paralyzed, which is a song about a toxic relationship, but he does it so well that it makes it seem all right for a while.
Yeah, awesome.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
Good list.
Indeed.
Good list. All right. I'll spin her up.
Spin her up. All right.
Woo!
I'll just say this. Basically, I wrote this list my senior year in high school and stuck to it. That I don't know. I mean, it changed today, but I told you guys when we got on as soon as we said this, we decided this is what we were doing. I had my 5. And then I tried to get more adult. I tried to expand, and there's so much. I could have done the top 100, and I think we still might have only had 10 or 15 that crossed. I mean, listening to hers, and Josh, I think yours is going to be different. I think we might have one or two or whatever that, especially if it was my honorable mention, that could hit. But other than that, I think this is where, when we're off of a genre and there's so much music out there, I think we have very distinct different tastes in music. And I mean, I love AJR. They could have made so many lists. We could do an AJR, whatever. But anyways,
I would struggle, but I would do the research.
Okay. Well, they got some really good stuff, man. I mean, they really do. And it's different because it's not, I don't know, but I got into them when I was in my extreme Dirty Heads and all of that phase, because those guys have toured together and they've been around, and so that helps. So anyways, my number 5, huge part of my life, and this was a struggle because I almost went with the original, but I couldn't do it. Chronic 2001, Dr. Dre, 1999.
Thank you. Yep, it was on mine. Like I said, I was like, okay, I'm gonna put them on my tentative because I know Casey's gonna get a few of them.
Yeah, there's no way that if you grew up in a lot of places, but especially the Midwest in the 90s, especially in 99, Dre and Snoop and we had just got introduced to Eminem right around that time, and it just that was the shit, man. That was it. So my 3 and was the whole album, but my 3 was Still Dre, obviously, Forgot About Dre, and then probably next episode would be my next favorite off of there, I guess. But I mean, that's one of those ones you put it in and you did not usually switch the song. And we didn't, I guess, at least. I mean, you could, if you certain songs, if you had a bass and you wanted to go Roll by a Girl, you went to one song real quick. When we talked about the road trip thing, that would be a road trip album easy. And it's long, so you can listen to it. It's like a 2.5 or 3 hour freaking, I don't remember how long it is, but it's long. So
it's the skits in it, they're funny,
Yeah, I mean, the Tommy Chong skit at the end is probably, that's what kind of got the Eminem. I think that was the the Eminem touch or taste of Eminem, or I don't know how to describe it.
Some of that weird cartoonishness.
Nobody had seen that out of Dre up to that point. I don't think that's not Dre. That he was super serious and whatever. So my number 4, they used to not be allowed to be talked about on this show, and they were going to be talked about no matter what. And I like to start the fucking fight. And this was before you, Sontia. This goes back to the not, I wouldn't say OG days, but the second episode or second round of OG days of this show when I joined. But it's the Sublime self-entitled album, 1996. Dude, when that came out, I don't know if that left my CD player or tape player or whatever it was when that came out for months. I mean, and no shit. I mean, you just, especially at the time, we were imbibing and some other stuff, and that was the perfect type of music to party and imbibe to. And it was just that same one you could play front to back.
Yeah.
The 3 songs I picked off of there are What I Got, Wrong Way, and then probably the most favorite, it's not this, but my favorite on this one is April 29th, 1992. Jailhouse. I mean, that there was just the whole thing. Same. That's another one of those ton of good music, and that made Sublime. So
yeah, that whole album was just a whole vibe. It was just, if you put it on at a party, then everybody would just chill out and start singing. Like it was like almost a sing-along CD.
Oh, and even people like that didn't like that type of music, all of a sudden, like are in my car and stuff, and they're like, this stuff's, and then all of a sudden they're like, April 19th. I mean, it's just like, let's play that again. It's like even the people that hate Sublime or pretend to, there's just, you can't not, I don't know, whatever.
They really have such a distinctive sound. They really do.
Don't, that's fine. That's why it's my list. It's my list.
I don't know why there was so much hate. I mean, I think it was a very localized thing, because I think overall they're pretty well received. Yeah,
I mean, they might have fallen off, but that happens. They split up. You get internal fighting. You lose members. People die, or whatever. It just, you change. So I liked them with Rome. I even liked the re-evolution of them. But I'm a Sublime guy. So Number 2, no, that was 4. Number 3, Full Moon Fever, Tom Petty.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't not get some Tom Petty on here, and just man, I found this site where you could get whole albums and download just 30 seconds of each song, so you could get through an entire album this was awesome journey for me to get to listen to a crap ton of music and a crap ton of different artists and stuff. But my 3 songs off of there are Free Fallin', obviously, Running Down a Dream, and then God dang it, there's again not probably famous or even not famous at all, but Zombie Zoo was one of my favorite songs off of that album. It was completely different Tom at the time and fun. So
yeah, well, the one with Mary Jane's Last Dance, whatever that album was, would have been my pick for Tom Petty, but that was one I could listen to.
Yeah, and
about every album afterwards.
I agree. There was probably some albums that had maybe a better song on them, but I don't know for me if there was one that had as many good songs. I guess, or what I guess was how I looked at that one. And just at the time, he was that album probably got me into Tom Petty. Yeah. So, my number 2, now we're ready for it, is the Doors' self-entitled album.
Thank you.
I knew what you were talking about on a couple of them when we talked yesterday. We are good at this. We do not talk about what music is on our heads or whatever when we're doing this. So it is fun for us as well as you. But I think I knew that was one of the ones that you had in mind. But that was probably other than the Beatles, young because of my brother, my buddy Johnny's mom Genoa got us into the Doors, and it was the Doors movie, and then it was just Doors, and it was just, man, I could listen to that album again front to back, and it just starts out with Break On Through to the other side, and and then you get in there, and like I'm an Alabama song guy, Whiskey Bar, and
20th Century Fox and Crystal Ship.
Yeah, but I mean, that's why I said Light My Fire, Backdoor Man, End of the Night, Take It As It Comes, The End. I mean, literally just front to back. If you want to say one thing to meet the Doors, there you go. There wasn't, obviously they weren't around. So that's their most famous to, whatever, but that's the Doors in one album. That's them.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All right.
An experience.
So this was where it got hard for me because the Beatles didn't make my list, but my favorite person that I can't go without did, Eminem. And when I first did this, and I didn't realize how low Marshall Mathers LP2 was down on there, because that's probably one of my top favorites. But the Eminem Show, man, even if you forget about it and then you just hit play on it, I don't care. It is freaking awesome. It is phenomenal. It is. What I liked about the LP2, and I should stop going to it because this is where my internal struggle was, because I wanted LP2, was his evolution of music on LP2 was insane. The amount of rock and different kind of music and alternative that he mixed in, and I know it was almost cheating, some people said, but he just made it badass. But on the Eminem Show, it's front to back. I don't think there's one song on there that I don't like, but I went with Soldier, Without Me, and then what else? Oh, Till I Collapse.
Soldier doesn't get enough credit. That is such a good song, and it just nobody ever plays it or talks about it or anything. It is such a good song.
Dude, it gives me chills. There's a couple Eminem songs that truly, because just the way they're written and where they hit, they're deep or whatever, or how it cuts. But that's one that almost tears me. Maybe not even just chills,
especially if you know the story behind it and all and everything that was going on. That was all in the middle of the Ja Rule beef and shit, people getting killed, and I think he talks about it a little bit in this,
and so anyways, I listened to 30 seconds of every song of 8 of Eminem's albums today. So I got M'd up, dog.
M'd up for the day.
Got M'd up.
So that's my list, and I'm sticking to it.
Good list indeed. And like I said, I knew you would have a couple. I'm glad you got them because I would have had to rewrite my list.
I'm gonna steal one from you. I don't want to do it. I have one honorable mention that I almost made the list that I thought could make yours because it was a huge part of our life, but I don't know if it will make yours. So we can talk about it after.
It probably didn't if it's the one I'm thinking of. But
okay. All right.
We'll hit the other button, by the way. We've got several buttons.
Several buttons.
Like I said, it was hard. Narrow them down. I had 10, added more. And these are ones that just kind of really stuck out. And number 5 is Modest Mouse. Good news for people who love bad news.
Oh, my God.
That was one from front to back. I loved it. It had the horns, because Sublime got us introduced to horns and ska a little bit. And so I've always liked horns in my, rock, my rock music, all my music, got to have a horn.
Horns are cool.
And,
horn dog.
Blame it on the Tetons. I've got The Good Times Are Killing Me. I'm still pulling this up, and then Float On, just because that was the big hit one from there. But they had the whole album there wasn't one song that I didn't like.
Mm-hmm.
Never heard of them until Float On or what, and then I became a fan of
Yeah, that's the first one I heard too, and I was like, what we really do?
What are these guys? What are these little miceys doing, man?
Yeah, Modest Mouse. What?
Yeah, what the hell kind of name is that? I like it.
It's great, and I mean their following albums were okay, but that's the one that I always draw to. The bluish one, the one after it, I think is still very good. But the good news for bad, and the name right there, I just love that. Good news for people who love bad news. It's like ha ha ha. But number 4, I've loved this band from their hit, but this whole album just really was one of the very first ones that I had bought and fell in love with. Is Third Eye Blind, their self-titled album, and of course, what do. And I love that one, but they got like I Want You. The very first song is Losing a Whole Year, and it starts out, I can't remember the lines. I tried to remember them so I could talk about it, but the very first line, that you hear from this album, it's just like, really, that's what you chose to start it with? It's just like, punch you in the face, and okay, this is what it's going to be about. Burning Man, and I would say God of Wine were probably my 3 off of that album. But again, the whole album, it just kind of takes you on a little journey. And Old Boy Married.
About Third Eye Blind sometimes. I just in the mix of things, they don't get enough, but you enjoy them. So
yeah. I saw them at the Kansas State Fair. I was still like at home and super religious, and I had no idea what I was getting myself into. But they were a raunchy bunch of fun folks. Somebody threw their panties on stage. That was pretty cool to see.
Oh yeah. He was married or with Charlize Theron for several years. They were an item, and I was super jealous of old Steph Jenkins. It's like, why? Because I had a huge crush on Charlize. Charlize, call me. Number 3 is like I'm pretty sure he was doing the thing when Eminem was coming out, because it may have been shortly after, so I don't know if but M definitely probably hit bigger, but Atmospheres, they stayed a little underground, and God Loves Ugly is my album, and again they have their entire catalog. I could just push play and the whole thing. There's not one song that I'm like I would skip past.
And they're called Atmospheres?
Yeah, Atmosphere is the name of the group. It's Slug and Ant, and they have a band. It's a hip hop, and they have a live band. That's one of the things I always liked about it. Ant produces and he does the samples, but they got horns and guitars and everything with it. But they've made a couple of my list. But Omnisphere is the first song off this album. It's a groovy one. My number 1 off of this album is Fuck You, Lucy. Yeah.
We've all wanted to say that before. Come on, we've all
Yeah.
Damn it, Lucy.
Yeah, we've all had a Lucy.
Damn you, Lucy. And then probably the title track, God Loves Ugly.
Okay.
But yeah, I know they've been on a few
I don't
of my list. So.
I don't remember them making a list. I'd have to go back.
Yeah, it's hard to remember. It all blurs together.
Yeah, because I just looked at them and I don't remember searching them before.
Okay, so like I said, number 2, I had to put the Beatles because they were already on my list, and 2 of the albums I was torn between was on Rolling Stones, but I went with Rubber Soul, and Revolver was the other one I was torn against, but
Abbey Road was a struggle for me.
Yeah,
I mean, again, they have a catalog I could listen to. I mean, more the popular ones I kind of skip by just because they're oversaturated in my brain. But Nowhere Man is my number 1. I would say Michelle, just because in second year French, that was the song we used to learn because they speak French in it. And like I said, I was only in French for the older class girls. And so, and I think Michelle Anderson, little fiery little redhead, I had a crush on her. So I was like, yeah, okay. And I'm Looking Through You.
Good song.
yeah.
All right, number 1, soft drum roll.
Classy. Keep it up.
Okay. Tupac, Me Against the World, because this album just changed the game. I mean, I remember, like I said, I wasn't supposed to be listening to it. Jesse had it, I'm pretty sure, and that's where I first heard it. And so, I mean, the title track, Fuck the World, and then If I Die Tonight, just because, I mean, I always had an obsession with death, morbid obsession with death, and, a healthy, maybe not morbid, maybe just a healthy understanding of it, I guess. I mean, we're going to die. Yeah, it's going to happen.
I was going to say that. I think that if you have a healthy understanding, that's about all you need to know is you're going to die.
Well, I mean, I don't think it was healthy then. I mean, it's healthy now.
All right. So you used to struggle with it is what you're saying.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Got my Mori right here, a little skull, memento mori. You're going to die. So live your life every day. Yeah. The original YOLO is what I call that. That was back from Shakespeare, before Shakespeare times. The skull in Hamlet was his Mori, memento mori.
I don't think there's anything with just like contemplating like the meaning of death, just like you have to contemplate the meaning of life because they both go together.
Yeah, yin and yang, the Zen way.
Zen.
All right, we wrapped it up pretty good.
I did want to mention Howard Stern soundtrack. Hard to not get on there. Dazed and Confused soundtrack. Could listen to front and back. Wu-Tang Clan, Enter the Wu-Tang, 36 Chambers. That was like freaking mind-blowing music. And I'd listen to a lot of rap. And then you listen to that and you're like, holy crap. Nirvana, Nevermind. Significant Other, Limp Bizkit. I could have, a lot of, I had so many ZZ Top. It was hard. This was a hard one for me. Yeah. And Private Parts soundtrack, not Howard Stern, but
I had Gym Class Hero, Paper Cuts, because I love Travie McCoy, and again, it's hip hoppy rock, but it's the live band that usually sells me on it. Just I know rappers just standing up there, it just kind of bore me entertainment wise live. I may love their albums, but to go see somebody live and it's just a rapper standing there. Like I said, I seen Ritz and Tech Nine, and I was very disappointed. I mean, just because I wanted it to be better in my head. I mean, it was a great performance, and I mean, I'm not mad at Tech. I'm not mad at you. I was just, that was like my first rap concert, big rap show, and so I was like, what? It wasn't as entertaining as all the rock shows because I'm watching guitar for a minute, I'm watching the bass, I'm watching the drummer, I'm watching the chicks in the crowd, I'm watching the singer. I'm like, so it seemed more entertaining in my head, at least. Snoop, Doggy Style, Dre, Chronic, Johnny Cash, American 4, Soundgarden, Super Unknown, and then the Doors, and again. All Doors albums I could listen to.
Yeah.
with very minimal skipping. At least the later albums, you know, it was like, ew.
They did have a little trippy and a little lyrically, you know, whatever. But that I think that dispelled or kind of gave you a vision to the end.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I only have 3. Nirvana in Utero.
Yeah.
The Heartless Bastards, The Mountain.
Don't know that one.
It's a group with a female singer, and they're
That's
almost, and it's like, I want to say that it's trip music, but it really isn't. It's almost blues, but it's not.
Okay.
So yeah, they're an incredible group of people. Like,
Awesome.
And they just kind of stay underground. And then Rob Thomas, in his self-titled album, Rob Thomas.
Yeah.
Gotta love it. All right.
No Nickelback, huh?
It hurt my
I didn't
soul.
want to call you out on it.
I had to. I've been waiting. I almost did it when we did the 5. But then honorable mention, so I figured we were going to get one. And
yeah, it hurt my heart so bad.
I didn't do Beatles, so
I was just like, man, I really want to put Nickelback on here, but these are the 5 that really, really, really made something happen for me.
I get it.
But yeah,
So
so
maybe
I
we'll
still love Nickelback, but
maybe we'll like do a poll again on it and see if we can get some traction going with that or something, and start our 500. Maybe that's something we can do. But we do got some, Art Assault's going to be coming back soon. We got a different plan. Some of that stuff panned out that I was preluding to. So, like I said, I don't got time. I'm ready to get on the road. So I'm gonna wrap it up. Thank you guys. We'll be back next week sometime, maybe.
Yeah, at some point.
We'll figure it out. We'll get a plan for August and get a plan for Art Assault, and then we'll go from there.
All right.
Thank you guys. Great list.
Peace.
Find the button. Where's the button?
Click the button.